Hi, my love. As someone who prides herself on having protected her heart like a pro, I want to walk you through how to know whether or not you should even be vulnerable with someone and how to do it once you've discovered that you can. But first, I want to read you a poem that I wrote around the time when I finally felt like I could be vulnerable. You all talked about how much you loved my poetry in my last video, so I feel super encouraged to be vulnerable with you guys and share some more poetry. So this one is about vulnerability. I pride myself on words sincere, so how have I deceived you for this many years? I'm ready to show you my true disposition, so see right through me. You have my permission. My smiles often follow a stream of tears. My heart is far more fragile than it appears. I am this ongoing war between love and fear, but if fear was victorious, I wouldn't be here, asking you to see through me, my dear. So I'll stay here forever on one condition, that you see me for me. You have my permission. I just gave myself butterflies. I wrote this before Ahmed and I started talking, actually. Like, I was ready for this to apply to somebody. I didn't have anyone in mind as I was writing this, but I was finally ready to trust somebody. But I want to walk you through some of the guardrails that I really recommend that you put into place before you decide to be vulnerable with somebody. You need to make sure that you've found somebody worth being vulnerable with. Because as you probably know, most of these men just don't deserve for us to be our true, vulnerable, soft selves until they've earned it. The thing that you need to understand, my love, is that you have this internal bodyguard. This thing that we like to call like our guards are up, as if it's this negative thing. That thing needs credit. It is this internal bodyguard that you have hired for the time being full-time, and it has been doing its job. It has protected you from so much. Sure, are there a few moments where it may have overprotected you and, left someone outside of the club when they should have been in? Maybe. But for the most part, it has protected you from things that you needed protecting from. So do not betray this internal bodyguard that has been looking out for you by making it feel like its job is useless. Its job is not useless. It's very useful. So if your guard insists on being up, you need to ask yourself why. Have a conversation with it. Act like you are its employer. If it's insisting that this person should not get let in, you're not just gonna fire your bodyguard and be like, you're stupid, let them in, because you trust them to do their job, and clearly they may have seen something or felt something or heard something that required that they took precautions. So if you think that your guards are just up for no reason and this person is worthy of trusting, have that conversation with your bodyguard and just be a little bit more discerning and a little bit more careful. Give it credit. Trust it. See what comes out from that conversation. If you find that you don't agree with the reason, like let's say it's more fear-based and it's like, well, you've let someone in before and this happened. If it's not based in logic, if there's not something, if there aren't real red flags that it is trying to point you to. By the way, if you haven't seen my video about red flags that are sneaky, I highly recommend that you go watch that video. That's where I share the poetry. Sometimes your guard is up because it knows something subconsciously and intuitively that you might not even be able to communicate yet. If you find that the guard is up unnecessarily, then what I want you to do is switch your bodyguard from full-time to part-time. What this means is you can let this person in. You can, explore a relationship with this person, but do not be fully trusting just yet. And the reason being, they might have the best of intentions, my love. They might have the best of intentions. I know this was the case for Ahmed when we started talking, but I would have been foolish to just fire my guard or let them go on a long-term vacation, because Ahmed still doesn't know me that well. Ahmed might have the best of intentions, or whoever you're talking to might have the best of intentions, but intentions and impact are two very different things. He might want the best for you, but might still not know how to handle your heart. You are the only person who has handled your heart for this long. So you want to have a little training period with this person before you fully just do the trust fall with them. I cannot describe to you how badly I wanted to do the trust fall with somebody. I came into my relationship with Ahmed after having lost my dad for only a few years. I'm going to record a whole video about how hard it was to lose such a strong male presence in my life. So all I wanted to do, like internally, was just find a guy and just fall and be like, take care of me, be there for me, be strong for me. Like, I didn't like this feeling of moving through the world so independently. My guard was always so up. Like, I had to take care of myself because my dad used to do that for me. Like, there were moments where I really felt that I could surrender and just be vulnerable with my dad, but I had not yet trusted another male figure in my life with my heart the way that I did with my dad. So I'm telling you that just to let you know, regardless your circumstance, I totally understand how tempting it is to want to find someone and just throw your heart at them and be like, okay, it's yours now, take care of it. But please don't do that. They're gonna fumble. Like, they don't know you, even if they want to take care of it, even if they want to buy this beautiful diamond safe and just put your heart in there and really take care of it. They still need you to show them how to do that. So even the most well-deserving of men is going to need a little bit of a grace period before you can fully trust them with that. Just like you wouldn't hire a babysitter to take care of your newborn and just leave them alone the first night without training her or showing her all the different things that this baby needs or where to find all the stuff in the house when something happens. So please ease into it. And I will say, if you're on the other end, so I know I talked about wanting to like throw your heart at somebody, but I do want to speak to my baddies who are a little bit avoidant, because this was me, where you're on the other end and you just don't want to let your guard down at all, even if this person seems worthy of it. I want you to start focusing more on what you stand to gain by giving someone parts of your heart than by what you stand to lose. I want you to ask yourself, if I let them in a little bit, what are the things that will now be available to me? How will I feel that I cannot feel if I'm the only person handling my heart? If this person proves that they're worthy of your trust a little bit, I want you to focus on the opportunity cost, the benefits of letting them in versus the costs of letting them in. And if it even helps you, focus on the costs of not letting them in. Like, what kind of life will you be leading if you never let somebody in? Ask yourself that. That might help you and incentivize you to give them these little tiny little tests, if that makes you feel better to call them tests, to see how they perform before you feel comfortable letting them in a little bit more. Which brings me to the last phase in this process, and that is give them room to surprise you. This has been so humbling for me. I have been married for over 3 years now. Just the other day, which is kind of what inspired me to make this video right now, just the other day, I kind of did the trust fall with Ahmed about something. I'm gonna be so honest with you. Like, I didn't know if he was ready. I didn't. Yes, we've had a few years of me being vulnerable in front of him and letting him take care of certain parts of me, but I had never fully gotten to a place where I just needed so much support and I felt like I couldn't even console or take care of myself. And leading up to me just kind of surrendering and doing that emotional trust fall, I did have that talk with myself of, what if he doesn't know how to react? He loves you, he cares about you, that doesn't change how he feels about you, but you're just gonna need to try this. And if he doesn't catch you the way that you wanna be caught, you're just gonna need to try again another time when you feel safe, and that is okay. Don't let it mean something that it doesn't need to mean. Don't create all these anxieties about your relationship if he doesn't do everything perfectly, because that's not fair. Not everybody has the instruction manual of how to take care of your heart the way that you do. I literally gave myself the same pep talk and advice that I'm giving you right now. And when I tell you that I did this trust fall, I shit my pants the whole time because I didn't know how he was gonna act. And the way that he reacted, like, I feel so light now. I cannot describe to you. And this is what I mean when I say focus your energy on what you stand to gain. The levels that I feel we've unlocked in our relationship, only because I allowed him to surprise me, those are not levels I would have been able to unlock had I been only taking care of my heart alone, had I not done that trust fall. Those are not levels we ever could have unlocked if I constantly had the question in my head of, would he be able to take care of me when I really, really felt like I couldn't take care of myself? So I'm not telling you to just go out and do the trust fall with someone if you've been dating them for a period of time, or even if you're married with them. What I'm saying is, in the ways that you can, and in the ways that you feel safe, give him room to surprise you. Now, the reason I felt safe doing a full trust fall is because I knew that even if I fell on my ass, I could pick myself up and that I wouldn't be mad at him for it. Like, I might feel like, okay, I'm not gonna try that again for another X amount of days or years or months or whatever made me feel safe. But I knew at the end of the day, me doing the trust fall, I wasn't gonna die. It wasn't gonna destroy our relationship. So the benefits on the other end of doing it and seeing what happens far exceeded the cost of me doing it and failing. And the benefits of me doing it absolutely far outweighed the benefits of me not doing it. Like, the benefits of me not trusting him like that were getting less and less because I'm like, I can't do this by myself. I need emotional support. I can't handle this on my own anymore. So it started to cost me more to not trust him fully and not be vulnerable with him. The name of the game here, my love, is trust. You need to trust yourself to do what is best for you. Sometimes that means not letting people in at all because you respect yourself way too much to show your vulnerabilities to someone who is only going to abuse them or try to manipulate you with them. I'm not a fan of people who just say, like, I'm gonna show up as my raw, authentic, open, transparent, vulnerable self regardless. I think that's a cop-out and I think that's lazy. Anyone who respects themselves and sees their heart as this valuable treasure that it is won't just be commoditizing that to just anybody. So it is absolutely okay for you to have your guard up with people who are only intent on hurting you and abusing you. But at the same time, I want you to trust yourself enough to slowly let people in, or maybe quickly let them in if they've shown you that they can be trusted that quickly. When they've shown you that they are intent on learning how to love and respect you the way that you know how to love and respect yourself. It is so beautiful to be able to be vulnerable with another human being. It is so beautiful to understand that you don't have to navigate life alone. You don't have to be the only one on this planet whose job is to take care of you. But it does take work and discernment and good judgment and trial and error to be able to find someone who not only has the desire to do it, but who actually is capable of doing it, because those are two different things. I would love to hear what has come up for you after listening to this, and if you're down to try it. I love you so much. Protect your heart. And as always, stay powerful, my love.